Hello, welcome back to Melanin Me Podcast.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday. Happy post MLK Day.
Girl,
Post inauguration day. It's a
girl.
lot going on in these streets.
Post TikTok was
Post
returned
TikTok return
today.
day. Free at last. Okay. This is crazy.
Insane. What is
Yeah.
life,
I know. We
right?
were just saying life feels like the Twilight Zone right now.
Why does it feel like the Twilight Zone, honestly? Like, why?
I don't know. It's like we're truly living in the future and it's just not what we expected it to be. It's just with a twist.
I wonder if, like, because we're the new adults, like the auntie, uncle adults, not like your teeny bopper 20 adults. We're like the adults, like approaching 40. Um, I
Oh,
wonder if parents felt like with the turn of events and cell phones and the wave of like change and like all, I wonder if they felt like how we feel now,
I'm sure.
where they live in the Twilight Zone. Like, you know what I mean? Does every
I'm
40
sure.
years somebody feels like they're living in a Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone,
I'm like,
girl.
but then again, some adults and they with some of the worldly events that have happened, they're like,
Hmm.
we've never experienced anything like this. Like this feels crazy.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't know.
A lot of people said they never. But then, back in the day, like Y2K,
Slavery,
yep, slavery,
you know,
the Great Depression.
Great Depression. So there's been
The
phases. I feel like we're still not out of slavery in some ways.
girl, it's so sad. It's
But
really sad. But, we keep on keeping on. And, one thing we're gonna do is keep on. Black people, we know how to get over everything, anything.
we know we do. We
We
know how to
we've done it all, seen it all, been through it all. Okay, so we'll get over this
girl.
um hump. And a lot of people, the economy is really bad over here in California. LA fires, some historical black neighborhoods were burnt down. Of course, most of the publicity is going towards the celebrity houses and Palisades and Malibu. Those were the more wealthier areas. But Altadena, Pasadena, I actually lived in Pasadena for a short period of time when I first moved to California, and I loved it out there. So I feel really bad. It is very like family oriented out there more so than LA. So it's sad. A lot of people lost generational property that was going to be passed through their family, passed down. And now, who knows? It's going to take money to rebuild. And, you already have to pay for what hotels and food and new clothes and everything if you didn't
Life.
have fire insurance. And then
And I
the trauma,
yeah.
like you lived through a fire,
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that when
girl.
so it's so sad. I mean, when you lose something, and this is on all ends of the spectrum, whether you have money, whether you don't have money, I think that most people in those situations, when you have to leave your home and only have a certain amount of time to grab stuff, you're
Mm,
grabbing whatever it is that you think is important at that moment. But what
right.
happens is once your house is burned down, your apartment is burned down, your property is burned down, you realize, oh my God, my baby book. Oh my God, my video
Mm,
that I took of me giving birth. Oh my God, all those pictures that aren't on social media. Oh my God, my mom's sweater that she left me before she passed. Oh my God, like you
mm.
really start to like
Hit
look
you.
at and remember all those things. And then even after that, so there's trauma in that. And then there's
Yeah.
trauma in the sense of, oh my God, I don't even have a freaking toothbrush. Like that was what was really mind-boggling for me when my apartment burned down in 2013, because you really had to
Mm,
start over from the most molecular level. And I think people think that when you have a structure, especially if you have some kind of money, and I didn't have any money back then. So I literally, thank God I had renter's insurance. And I'll be completely honest with
mm,
you, my renter's insurance was about to lapse and I
mm,
had like 5 days to pay it. And it was only
mm.
like, I don't know, $25, $30, but it's such a
$20,
small
yeah.
bill that it's so insignificant you almost forget to pay it. But I had
Hmm.
5 days after my fire to pay it, or else I would not get that $10,000. And that was just
Girl.
$10,000. So thankfully I had that, but all in all, to say, I really, really feel so bad for these families,
Mm,
not just the ones that don't have money. Yes, I also feel bad for the people who have, worked hard to accumulate their wealth and have lost those things that money can't replace. Um,
right.
some of the stories I've been seeing have been kind of insensitive, I think, to the celebrity world and rich
I
world.
know, just
Um,
so rude.
and it makes it seem as though, like, wow, how much of a dying breed, it is to have money, how sick and tired of people are, watching these people who have what they quote, what they deem to have money or deem to have a great life. People are tired of that whole narrative. And, I think we're really starting to see some, opinions becoming louder and louder when it comes to that, because I mean, at the end of the day, I think this is a moment, a defining moment for everyone in America and even all over the country or the world, to say, oh my God, we need to come together, because
Mhm.
regardless of how much money or how little of it you have, you still lost.
I
And
know.
it's just very sad. It's
That's what
very.
people were saying, like, even like, I mean, with the TikTok ban, they were like, TikTok is the only place where you're not immediately judged and being, reprimanded for sharing your life. Like Instagram, everyone's being so mean to the celebrities and oh, who cares? You already have money. But, TikTok, we're a community here and we all care about each other no matter what you have. And I was
Mhm.
just like, wow. I mean, that is true because Instagram is brutal. Like you will get dragged on Instagram in those
They
comments
do.
and everyone knows it. Like no, and this is that age-old tale. People always said first they love you, then they
Mhm.
hate you.
Yeah.
Because celebrities, y'all are on the downfall. Like nobody even really cares about celebrities anymore. On top of that, you're not getting any sympathy from anyone. Like
Mhm.
everyone's like, this is the end of Hollywood.
And I hate
Hollywood
that.
has no power.
I hate
So,
that, especially from an actor standpoint, because actors are like the least worrisome people. Like, they don't bother anybody. For a lot of the actors, they don't make this large amount of money that I think a lot of people think they do, unless you're in
most
that
of them.
and
Hmm.
of like that top. I think for a lot, and we've seen Taraji come out and speak on certain things and other actors, and they talk about, in comparison to how much other people get paid, even if you have gotten a Golden Globe and, all the things, or an Oscar, I'm sorry, how little weight that holds for a black actor in comparison to a white actor. So there's
Yeah,
still all these discrepancies, and I think we can't lose sight of the fact that people still work for, not with the people that don't have inheritances or didn't come from money, but the people that started where we are and they built a fortune for themselves and their family. I
they
think there is
deserve that.
a
Like,
I think there's a space to hold for them as well. But
right.
people are going to hate anyways, because just like when TikTok was about to get banned
Yep.
or shut down, people still had something to say. What was the memes? Y'all do know Indeed is still working, right? Y'all
Hmm.
that got all these jobs on TikTok, now y'all need to get a real job. It's like people just hate what
You're
I feel
hating.
like they aren't or can't, or
What's
what they
a real
do.
job? Because there's really no job security. You're getting a check or you're getting a check. Either you're doing a job or you have a business. That's it. And if you're a content creator, you're at least one step further towards having your own business than if you're just an employee. Because you could work at the most secure company. I worked at one of the most richest companies in the nation, and I got laid off after
Mm-hmm.
4 years.
I've been laid
Like,
off. Listen,
you know what I
and
mean?
for the people who
So
have, and I think people aren't taking into account either, people who have TikTok as a side hustle. So teachers that
right.
don't make enough money and they are able to content create and do some really cool stuff and make ends
Mhm.
meet and maybe have a life that, a side hustle. If they didn't have it, they wouldn't be able to go on a trip. They wouldn't, because they have just. We're all, for most of us in America specifically,
Mhm.
we're a paycheck away from being homeless.
Girl, one paycheck away. And that's what
There's a
they're
lot
saying.
of people who don't
These
have savings. They
other
don't have,
nations are not
yeah,
living like that.
no,
That's what
no.
they don't want us to see on these apps. What's really going on
And
outside of
it,
America.
girl, when I was in Africa, I think one of, and, you know, we're pretty well traveled ourselves, but
Hmm.
in Africa, this recent trip that I took, I didn't realize this because I've never had to get medicine out of the country before. Um,
Right.
typically go for my doctor's appointments before, but because I have a sun allergy. So if I stay in the sun and I bake for a long time, not if I just go out and go in the sun, but if I'm like laying out, which I love to do, and the
Hmm.
sun just blazes on me over the hours, I
You
will
need
break
that
out and find
cream.
I get that cream and I break out in
Yeah.
really fine hives. So to prevent that, I go to my allergy doctor. He prescribes me prednisone pack, which is like 5 pills. I take it
Hmm.
when I go out of town, and it offsets so I don't break out in hives.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I forgot to make an appointment. I knew I was going to the beach, and when I was in Africa, Kenya to be specific, I was like, "Oh my God, I forgot my prednisone." And so my
Mm.
sister and my brother-in-law were like, just go to the pharmacy and get some. And I was like, no, they don't have a Walgreens. I have to get a prescription. They were like, no,
You
like
just
literally
buy pay for
just
it.
go to the pharmacy. They'll give you some prednisone. And I was like, what?
Hmm.
So I go to the pharmacy, like, hey, can I get some prednisone? They're like, yeah, what do you need it for? I'm like, I have a sun allergy. And they were like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Here you go, $10. And I'm like, what? And
So
my
that's
sister,
it.
they were like, because these other countries believe if you're sick, go get medicine. Go get what you
That's
need.
it.
Go get
And
what you
it's
need.
very cheap. It's
Unless
like
it's like a
affordable.
narcotic, you would
Yeah.
have to go get seen. But for the most part, most of these medicines that in America they make you have a doctor's appointment that so they can charge you just for the doctor to give you what he's already given you last month or the month before. But it's like a
Right.
scam. Everything is controlled and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I
Girl,
realized how
it's a
freeing.
scam.
And I was, and this is the other point I want to make. I was thinking to myself, well, clearly people aren't abusing this freedom of going to the pharmacy to get stuff because if they probably would have banned or made it more hard. So clearly people are using the pharmacies responsibly, right? Like, I
Yeah.
guess what I'm saying is I'm not going to get prednisone or another drug to
To
overdose. And
shoot it
now you
up.
have
No.
10,000 people
No.
overdose. No, people literally use it responsibly.
For what they need to use it for. Yeah.
They're like, no, if you're sick, go get what you need.
Yeah, it's just another way to gatekeep, another way to charge another fee for the medicine because you can't get medicine without a prescription. You can't get a prescription without a doctor visit. You can't get a doctor's visit without insurance or money. So it's another scam of society. It's really sad. Out here in California, people run over to the border to to Mexico real quick to get, oh,
What Trump is about to close.
girl, they be running over there like it's CVS to get that discount weight
Because
loss
Mexico, they do it.
pills,
Yeah, they
anything,
do it in
asthma
Mexico.
medicine, anything.
Girl, I'm gonna start doing it in Africa. Go back in March and I'm gonna stock up on some stuff, and
Yeah. I
because
mean,
it's ridiculous. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
girl,
So, and I see now why I'm not. This isn't me saying I see why Luigi did what he did, but this is
Luigi.
why we. What is his name?
I don't know who we talking about.
The guy who killed the CEO of the healthcare company.
Oh, I didn't
Luigi.
really follow that story too closely, but yeah, I
Well,
think it is Luigi. Wow.
yeah, he had somebody in his family that was sick, and they denied his family member, and they had paid all these years of co-pays and insurance, only
What?
for the family member to get denied and then die. So he was pissed. He's like, no, these insurance companies need to be held responsible. And did you see? I don't know if you paid attention, but or if this came up on your side, but after this whole story took effect, CEO
Mhm.
died of major insurance, United Healthcare, blah, blah, blah. Blue Cross Blue Shield comes out and it's like, yeah, we're going to be denying all these claims, or we're going to start something they were going to shut down.
Oh my God.
And people in the comments were like, Blue Cross Blue Shield, I need you to read the room. And so literally 30 minutes later, Blue Cross Blue Shield rescinds what they just said. Don't worry about it. They're still gonna approve everybody. I mean, what? Read the
Girl,
room.
we are just a number in this system. Okay, that's it. Your number. That's it. They care about the bottom line of make more money. They don't care about nothing we talking about until
They
they get
caused the
backlash.
problem. They cause the problem and sell you the cure.
Mm-hmm. Girl, it's cutthroat. It's cutthroat. So a lot of people are getting dual citizenships and getting the hell up out of here at
Girl,
their leisure. Shoot,
girl.
I heard Tyra Banks. She was I saw a clip of her today. I guess she was in Australia. She's in Australia right now. And she was scared to mention that her house burned down, but she was like, yeah, I mean, I didn't want to bring light to that, but fortunately, we've been between here and Australia, so most of our things are in Australia. I was
Girl,
like, okay.
girl, girl.
Her and her partner. I was like,
You never
at
see
this
the
at this
same.
point in time, it pays to not live in United States full time because this
I'm
shit over
telling
here is
you,
unpredictable.
I'm gonna be
Unpredictable.
half and half. I mean, because Africa's lit. It's the bomb, everything. I think when people think about Africa, they
Mm.
think of little babies running around on dirt with no shoes on. And
No, no,
it is
no.
literally the most beautiful place. I mean, like anywhere, they have the ghetto, they have the,
Right.
they have like anywhere. But the reality of it is people are tired of hustling
Mm.
3, 5 jobs just to maintain their lifestyle now. Imagine when we get older and we're
Hmm.
old and Social Security's gone and your kids are older, they're living their life, so they don't have time to take care of you, nor should you want them to take care of you. And it's like, okay, what do I have to
Mm.
provide the same level of lifestyle I was living when I was young now that I'm older? Well, for example, in Africa, you can have a full staff. I mean, somebody who makes a fourth of what I make has a nanny. It's insane. Like one of the girls that we
Girl,
staff, she's got a nanny. I'm like, Kathy has a nanny? They're like, yeah, she got a nanny. I'm like, you know,
it's affordable.
it's
It
labor is very affordable. The aesthetics are amazing. The restaurants are freaking off the chain. The food is 10 out of 10. Maldives, 10 out of 10.
food was
Um,
that good. I
10
saw it
out
had
of
like some
10.
fried fish, and you're a very picky eater. So if you say the food was good, I know the food was good.
Girl,
Girl, I heard you can get your hair braided out there for like $20
girl, you
in
can
20
get a
minutes.
lot for a lot for a
$20
lot.
in 20 minutes.
Listen, you can have a
I
whole
would
hair.
love to go.
You girl, I'm just saying, it's insane. And I think that a lot of these countries are the same way and they're laughing at us. They're like, huh, we really are the ghetto. When you
Right,
think
right,
America's the ghetto, you know,
right.
when I was in Africa, I'm like, what is all this the fires, then somebody's driving in New Orleans in the crowd,
Girl, sick,
people. I'm
mentally
like, what
sick.
is happening
I'm
right now?
telling you, it's a good time to have one foot in and one foot out of America because we just don't know what's going to pop off when. And if you have those documents and somewhere to go to get out,
Insane,
what you need to
wild,
do.
crazy, crazy.
Girl, it's crazy. I think
So
that if we launch this Melanin Me travel trip group,
listen, I think we really can
that's where
get
we need to go is Africa.
Africa be the first place for sure.
First place, maybe annually. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to get Black people
Twice a
accustomed to
year.
traveling
Twice a year
more.
minimum.
Uh, Thank
Twice a
you.
year. Cape
Yep.
Town, Kenya, Johannesburg. Like, girl, what? What?
Right.
What? We
Yeah.
we as a nation, mo just like how I am passionate about home ownership and owning stuff and
Yes.
wealth building and all of that, I'm very passionate about traveling and seeing something outside of the Caribbean. No
Yes.
shade to the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean.
I
The
love
Caribbean
the
is
Caribbean. Love
beautiful.
it.
But there are other places that are equally beautiful, if not more beautiful.
Yep.
So, and I think, what's that saying? The world is a book. And for those of you that don't travel, only get to read one page.
Damn. Not one page. Damn.
Not a chapter, one page. So, we
We gotta at least get on at least a chapter, at least.
gotta get a chapter
So
in. So, but
I agree.
we digress. In
Yeah.
saying all of these things with all of the recent events, Trump, we know he just had an inauguration,
Oh God.
conveniently on MLK Day.
Girl, did you see they booed Obama? I was
Girl,
like, y'all tried it. Y'all
now I
really
see why
tried it.
Michelle didn't show
Yeah.
up. She's like, I'm
Yeah.
not fooling with y'all.
Yeah. I see why she didn't not show up. But then I also be like, damn, you know that was gonna boo your man. Like, girl, why you ain't show up?
Hell nah, because she like, if you want to get disrespected, that's fine. But I'm
Yeah.
from your white side. I'm from Southside Chicago. I will cut a bitch,
You
okay?
know she told him not to go. She's like, fuck it,
No
don't
shit.
go.
You going? Oh,
You don't
okay.
need to
You're like,
go.
babe, you probably really
Mm-mm.
need to show face, show my ass.
Mm-mm.
She already said when they go high, we go to hell. When
Girl,
they go
I
low,
wish she would
listen,
be,
when they go low, we go to hell.
I wish that she would run for president.
Paraphrasing what she said. She didn't really say that, but she said we go lower. But yeah, no, girl,
I
bye.
wish she would run for president
Girl,
because
she tired of us.
I
She tired
know,
of us. She had
I
eight
know,
years with us. She's tired. She said, hell to the no. No.
I know.
Y'all,
She don't even want to show up for these functions.
my thing
These,
is what we want. This is what's funny to me is what I'm seeing. First of all, Trump created a ban for TikTok, right? He started the whole ban thing. Like, I don't want TikTok. I'm going to
girl,
ban it. Then, closer to the time as we see, it's looking like there's no more TikTok, but then he's saying, "Oh no, I'm going to save TikTok." And conveniently it shuts down for like 16 hours
yep,
for
all
no
there.
reason. What the fuck was that? Only for TikTok, CEO TikTok to kiss Trump's ass and say, "Oh my god, thank you Mr. President Trump for bringing TikTok back." Blah, blah, blah. What are we missing? What are we
Oh,
missing?
girl,
There is a disconnect
there's a
with the
lot of
American people and who they chose. He's
girl,
already done some executive orders to say, hey, there is only going to be male and a female gender. Caitlyn Jenner is like, oh my God, thank you so much, Mr. President, blah, 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 blah. Ma'am,
so
sir,
stupid,
ma'am.
so stupid.
Did you read that he's not for you? Like, he's not for you.
I know.
It's interesting. That's all I'm saying. It's interesting.
It's just crazy to that is legendary. Like, oh my God, it's groundbreaking. There's only two genders in America. It's like, what is going on here? Duh. Yeah, there's been two genders my whole life. Like, this is
Because
just
we
too
allow
much.
a lot of gray. We allow a lot of gray and it gets so sticky. But even with the Gulf of Mexico, now he's trying to get it to Gulf of America.
Girl, the only thing I did hear about Greenland, he wants to buy Greenland. I said, I will be over there, okay? I ain't gonna
Girl, listen,
I ain't gonna hold you. You want to buy Greenland for what, Massachusetts or something, trade it like Monopoly? I'm with it.
girl.
I'm with that one.
I'm
But
here's
I don't care. At this point, girl,
it's not
this
our
all
problem
seems like a setup. Like this TikTok ban thing, this was obviously set up. And one of the major theories is that when it went black for 16 hours and America couldn't get access, is because the servers were being switched over to the new owners or whatever. Like it's already been purchased, an agreement, a deal, whatever. So the ban was really just the servers being re-uploaded, going down, re-uploaded, new server, new owner, new whatever.
Yeah, they said it's not going to be the same. Because some of the people were saying like even if TikTok does came back, which it did, they were saying be prepared that it's not going to be the TikTok you knew.
Mm, that's crazy.
If America gets a hold of it, right? Like if
Hmm.
America gets a hold of it and does their little sauce, it's just going to be some things that it's not going to be the same. Now, whether that's true or not, that's some theories of people, but it makes sense. I can see that, one of the things is the algorithm. Apparently, that's the part that the China didn't want to let go of, and that's what makes TikTok unique is how
Hmm.
they do their algorithm. So because they don't want to sell that, I mean, I don't blame them. But
Yeah.
if that's what makes TikTok TikTok, and now the US is going to get a hold of it, and they're going to change some, who knows? It's all a conspiracy, but some of this stuff I really do be believing, because life is
Yeah.
just weirder and weirder. He's already what pardoned like thousands or 1,500 of the people who stormed um, the Congress building.
Hmm.
Those some of the people who had harsher sentences, he's given them reduction in that. It's just like, I mean,
Yeah.
what incentive do you have to do right if you are on the white privilege side? Like what incentive do you have to do right? Like, because right now they're incentivizing everything bad. We do know that when Trump is in office, um he does fuel chaos
Hmm.
and confusion and division and racism and all of the things. It's ignited when he's in office, and that's what he wants, and that's what makes these Trumpers, whether what color you are, if you voted for Trump, you're a Trumper. This is what makes you all feel.
Trumper.
I mean, this was what makes you feel empowered because you have a president that, you know, all the things. Hell, he's a felon, and they've
Girl,
pardoned him and said they're not going to sentence him for. It's just like it's a joke, dude. It's a joke. Life is a joke. That's why I'm trying to get out of here.
girl, they're doing
Make
what
my
they
money
want up in
over here.
here. They're
I'll make
doing
my
what they
money here.
want. They're gonna always do what they want,
Yep.
in this country.
Yep.
But yeah, people are outraged. And, also Trump launched like some crypto recently that kind of broke the market a little bit. And he had a crypto ball right before his inauguration. A lot of celebrities decided to perform there. I think some were Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, and Nelly.
Ellie.
And
Mm-hmm.
people have been deciding to cancel them because of their participation. Going off on them. Soldier Boy, said, look, I ain't getting a check from Obama, not getting a check from nobody but Trump. Trump put money in my pocket. So y'all can miss me with all that. Um, it's cutthroat out here these days, it's about the money. I told you that from the beginning. I was like, they're gonna go where that money goes. Especially in this economy. And it's funny because they had like a throwback clip of Snoop Dogg basically calling everyone who supported Trump at his last inauguration Uncle Tom.
Yep.
But now, fast forward 8 years, he's doing the
He's
same
coming.
thing.
He's
And it's
coming.
like, it's because the money is drying up in the entertainment business. People are trying to get it any way they can. They see the direction everything's headed in, these entertainers. So they're going to get that money, even if it is them being canceled. They don't care. They don't care because Hollywood's on a downward swing right now anyway. People aren't really spending money in entertainment industry anyway. So they're gonna get those checks how they can get them.
Mm-hmm. And I also think too, are we shocked? I mean,
No.
said Nelly, put out a whole country album in 2017 and has it like, why are we shocked that he would support, like, he doesn't have nothing going on. Like, he doesn't have anything going on. You don't have no money.
Yeah, I mean, your last
So
hit was 20 something years ago. Like, I'm gonna get a check too. Like,
I would give it,
I'm just
listen,
saying, like, at the end of the day, I
everybody
get
has a
it.
price.
I get everyone's in an uproar about Trump. Oh my God, he won. He won again. How, I get it. But this man is getting away with murder clearly. I mean, he's a whole felon, like you said, still elected president. So, I mean, if you're going to protest him for 4 years, I don't know what that's going to do.
Right.
He's not going to get impeached. He's not going to, what I'm
Because
saying?
he's
It's just
untouchable.
the
He's
time's
untouchable.
going to go by anyway. He has 4 years in office. It's going to go by unless something crazy happens or he gets impeached. So, being so outraged and canceling everyone who talks to this man is just, I mean, it's just a little bit extra because I personally don't believe everyone who is interacting with Trump is a Trump supporter. I think they're going to use him just like he's using them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're throwing money to get validation. I'll take your money. I don't even fuck with you. Like, I think it goes both ways. And at the
Right.
end of the day, I get people are in an uproar, but at the end of the day, I mean, the man's in office. There's nothing. If
He
Nelly
can do it.
declined, Soldier Boy would have did it. If Soldier Boy declined, I don't know, Boosie would
They
have did
knew.
it. Shit,
They knew how
somebody
to
would have did it.
love Boosie. They know. They knew who to go
Somebody
after.
would have did it.
Hell, but Tupac told us about Snoop a long time ago. Hell,
I saw that.
Tupac told Snoop about who he was before he died. Snoop told us Tupac told him who he was and what he was gonna do. He was friends with the enemy.
Snoop is
He
on the
has
side of
no
the money.
loyalty. So,
Yeah.
and Snoop, I am a little surprised. I'm not shocked at his decision to perform for Trump, but
Yeah.
didn't really need to do it for the money because he's got his hands in so many different things. But the thing
Yeah.
about Snoop is he will do it for a check. Like he didn't need to do it for a check, but he will do things for a check.
Yeah.
So
I'm
all of
sure
that,
he got the biggest check out of all of them.
exactly, exactly. So,
He got
it's very
500 million. I mean, was it 500,000? I think he
the
got
Olympics.
500,000 for the Olympics. Yeah.
So he's gonna do, he's gonna go where the money goes, but I'm not shocked really by any of these entertainers. Rick Ross ain't had he's
Mm-mm.
just had beef, and for a lot of these singers and rappers, music is not hitting the same numbers that it used to when we had to go out and buy records. These streaming has
Girl.
really done damage. It's been a good thing for things to go viral and quicker access to music, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
been, I think, it's been difficult for artists to make true money from streams because it's a lot less than they were getting from album sales. So they really do have
Mm-hmm.
to tour. So if you haven't had a hit in years and years and years, you're probably going to try to start some beef in front of the camera,
Anything.
any
Just
type
go
of anything to
get
drum
your
up.
numbers up or get off of the reality show spot. Like it's getting hard out here. If you don't have no skills and your whole gig was entertainment, it's drying up. That's
It's
it. And if you
people
don't have
don't even watch
any
TV like that no more.
assets, you don't have any investments, it's drying up.
It's drying
So
up. It's
you
drying
gotta do what
up.
you gotta do.
And life is getting more expensive. You know what I mean? It's life is
Hmm.
just getting more expensive. But all of that to say, I am tired of the fake outrage because at the end of
Yeah,
the day, you can't cancel every
it's
single
too
person
much.
that talks to Trump. And I can't necessarily say that if you did perform at Trump's thing, that means you're automatically in support of. Um, yes, it does give, some room for thought or some space to think like, well, you're in of celebration. It's not like you're
Hmm.
speaking out against something. You're in celebration of a moment, but at the end, I'm paid to do it. It's not like I'm like,
Right.
don't pay
And
me.
I remember when Kim Kardashian went up there to meet with Trump to free somebody in jail or prison, and everybody was like, "Oh, she's doing the noble thing." She didn't say, "Oh, I'm not working with him because he's the president this year, and I'm gonna get." At the end of the day, the nigga has the title of the president, so he's gonna make some things move and shake. People have to work with them. It's like working with your colleague that you don't like, but you gotta fucking work with them.
Didn't he pardon like Lil Wayne or somebody? Like when last time he was in office, it was some like rappers and stuff.
I don't know about Lil Wayne, but I heard he do be pardoning people, and Diddy may be one of them. So
Mm,
we'll see how that go.
that's on the horizon.
Yep. Speaking of Diddy, before we wrap up, we got to mention Wendy Williams and her take. She popped back out to let people know what she thought about the whole Diddy situation. And, she seemed like she was in her right mind to me. To me, what I heard, the little clip I heard, I didn't hear the whole thing, but she said that, Diddy's going to jail for life because he did monstrous things that only she knows about, you know?
We need her on the show again. She could just
Girl,
do like a little podcast in her little closet or room, and
that's
we'd love it.
it.
It up. We don't need a production. We don't need an
Nope,
audience.
don't
Whitney
want
just
it.
give something intimate and like,
Yep,
but
yep.
yeah, she's definitely right about that. And it was really good to hear her voice in a way that what wasn't like she was crazy or yelling at somebody. Um,
Right.
it did seem like she was in her right mind. She's just got some stuff she's got to figure out, similar to Britney Spears. Her, what do you call it? The conservative, what do you call it? The
Conservatorship or something.
conservative,
Conservatorship,
conservatorship. Yep.
conservatorship something.
Yep. Conservatorship. Yeah, I tried to say that 5 times. But she's got some shit she's got to work out. But ultimately, it was really good to hear from her. But isn't that crazy? Again, how we were talking about in the beginning of the podcast, how people are like it ebb and flows. When Wendy was on air, boo, Wendy, we're happy that you were cheated on. You talk so much shit about everybody else. Fuck you, da da da. Now she's not able to report on all the things that are
Yeah.
happening
We
in
need
real
Wendy
time
back. We
that
need
she's
her.
been speaking about. Now it's, oh my God, I wish Wendy was back. Oh my God, oh God. And it's like, you can't please the people.
You
You cannot
can't.
please the
You
people.
can't please the people. That's why I'm like, do you. Just do you because they're gonna turn on you anyway. They're gonna love you, then they're gonna hate you anyway. So
And they're going to hate you for the same reasons why they loved you.
yeah, yeah. And stop chasing validation because that's when you fuck up. That's
That is
that's what
so true.
happened to my boy Drake, I love me some Drake, but he was
Oh man,
chasing validation.
he's been
You
very sad to like
chasing
follow.
validation. You couldn't take the L. And now you suing people and stuff. Like, come on,
Down
that's
bad
really your Caucasian side.
for sure.
That's your that's your
I don't
Jewish
even look
Caucasian
at
side.
I know he was more
I
of
don't
your brother than
either.
mine, but like now he's just it's like he's I don't know. It's
It,
just something
it's sad. It's really sad. No, like it's
very
sad.
sad. It's
And I think
sad.
he should be put on like watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because you got to be real low. The fact he's even bothered this much to sue for this and that, and it's just, it's a rap beef. You lost. Just keep on making pop songs. Like, people love them, you
Well, I
know?
knew it was something too. I knew something was happening with the not the dying breed of the artistry, but depending on who you are as an artist, when I was supposed to help him find a house and
Oh, yep,
in Memphis, and remember
yep,
that? And
yep.
he's from there, but or he has family there, I'm sorry, but all of that to say, you know, they ended up canceling the show because they didn't have enough concert sale tickets. And it's
Ooh.
like Drake, what? You know, doesn't have any. I mean, Tony Braxton will sell out in a minute
Mm-hmm.
in Memphis, you know, or you know, any other artist sell, you know, but Drake. So
Yeah.
that
He
was
went he
girl.
went to a lane that wasn't really his lane, and that's when he started messing up because he tried to hop on with the younger wave, which is
Yeah,
cool. You can for like a feature or have them hop on
I
your
was gonna
thing for like a
say stick your
feature,
toe in it, but don't
but you
immerse.
try to completely change your lane. Like that last album, I was just like, this sucks. Like this, I don't want to listen to this. Like
Yeah,
let me just go back to Drake 2012 because like
yeah,
I'm still rocking with that. And that was
yeah.
his core fan base. So he
Right.
lost a lot of the core people who are his age, 34, 35, 33 and above.
Yep.
And you up here trying to cater to the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 year olds.
Yeah.
And then that's when you got watered down and played out. And
Girl,
yeah,
terrible,
I
terrible,
know. You
terrible.
bought a knife to a gunfight, Drake. You bought a knife
Ooh,
to a gunfight. And
ooh,
Kendrick. I mean,
Ether,
Kendrick
Ether.
came through. He did. I can't, and I'm a huge Drake fan. Like, but
Are
I'm gotta
a
keep it real.
huge. What's his name? Aubrey.
Aubrey Graham, Aubrey Drake Graham.
Girl.
And to me, you already were at a level where you didn't even need to respond to this. Come on. Come on, no. You didn't need to respond. You already know you put Kendrick on his first tour. You put
Mhm.
Kendrick on your album. Like y'all were cool. Like just let it go. Let it
Right.
go. You gotta be, but the ego is a very fragile thing, especially in a man. And he hit that ego where Drake was like, what? I'm Drake. I got a number and I want to be accepted by whoever, my daddy from Memphis. And it's just like, but you're from Canada.
Exactly.
And this is where you need to just step back.
This is where you need to step back, sir.
So it's going out sad. That's why I'm saying like Twilight Zone all around. Everything seems very wherever you were, you're opposite now. Like it's just a
Girl,
complete total flip
girl, girl,
as like five,
girl,
6 years ago. Like everything's just 180. Yep.
girl.
But
It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. But
but out with the old and with the new. You know what I'm saying?
out with the old, in with the new. That's right.
It's a new life, and you gotta just hope it's better than your old life. Or
That's
make it
right.
better.
Or make it
That's
better.
it.
That's your only options. Those are your only options at this point,
Yeah.
you know.
So,
But it's a lot happening, and we will be for sure reporting on all the things. Uh
yes,
and doing a better
stay in
job of staying
touch.
current. That way we don't have so much to report in one session, but
Yep.
this definitely we felt like we needed to come on, get it out. Thank God TikTok is back. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's back for 75 more days. Like, and it's been extended 75 more days. So we'll see if
Girl,
it's
we will
back.
see where this goes.
We will see. To be continued, like an engagement.
Reporting live. Yep. Make sure you're following Melanin Me Podcast, all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Instagram.
Yep.
We got some new stuff coming up.
New content
New content.
coming.
We just need to
New
set
content.
this Google Calendar, set the Google Calendar invite reoccurring. Boom.
Boom. Play, bake it
That's
in
how
our
we have to do our lives now. It has to be on this. calendar.
Like, oh my God, girl, I haven't talked to you in a while. I miss you. I know. Let's schedule a time in March to talk, to catch up. It's like that's how life is.
That's what we got to do.
But anyways, okay. Well, we
All
love you
right.
guys. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.